In an era marked by tumult and uncertainty, where the sands of power shift beneath the feet of even the most steadfast rulers, it becomes imperative to grasp the nature of those around us. For a prince ascending to the throne amidst chaos, or a leadership teetering on the brink of decline, understanding the dynamics of falsehood and treachery is not merely beneficial, it is essential for survival. As we delve into this discourse, we must adopt a lens that peers unflinchingly at the realities of power, fear, loyalty, betrayal, and political success, much in the spirit of Machiavelli's own observations in The Prince and Discourses on Livy. The world is not a place of inherent morality or fairness, but rather a stage where power plays out in its most primal form. The first lesson one must learn is that appearances can be deceiving, and the art of discernment is critical. In the court of power, the mask of loyalty often conceals the dagger of betrayal. It is essential to recognize that those who offer the most fervent declarations of allegiance may harbor the deepest treacheries. Thus, the prince must be ever vigilant, cultivating a skepticism that guards against the naive acceptance of surface appearances. Understanding human nature is central to navigating the treacherous currents of power. Men are driven by their passions, their fears, and their desires for security and advancement. In the pursuit of power, these motivations often lead individuals to adopt duplicitous roles. It is, therefore, prudent for a ruler to recognize that trust is a currency too valuable to be spent frivolously. One must balance the need for alliances with the necessity of maintaining a prudent distance, ensuring that trust is dispensed with caution and not squandered on those unworthy of it. The question arises, how does one deal with those who are false and treacherous? The answer lies in the strategic manipulation of both appearance and reality. A ruler must master the art of camouflage, presenting a facade that invites trust, while cultivating an inner circle of loyal confidants who are beyond reproach. The careful selection of advisors and allies is paramount. Their loyalty must be tested through trials and tempered by the fires of adversity. Only those who have proven their steadfastness in the crucible of challenge should be admitted into the inner sanctum of trust. However, even among the most trusted, vigilance must be maintained. A ruler must be adept at reading the subtle signals of discontent and ambition that may signal impending betrayal. This requires a keen understanding of the motivations and desires of those around you. By anticipating their moves and understanding their aspirations, a ruler can stay one step ahead, preempting treachery before it can take root. Moreover, it is not enough to merely defend against treachery. One must also employ it as a tool when necessary. The judicious use of deception can disarm opponents and neutralize threats before they become insurmountable. In the realm of power, the ends often justify the means, and the successful ruler is one who understands when and how to wield deceit as a weapon. This is not to advocate for wanton betrayal, but rather to acknowledge that there are times when strategic manipulation is essential for maintaining stability and control. In dealing with false and treacherous people, a ruler must also be adept at managing fear. Fear, when wielded skillfully, can be a powerful tool for maintaining order and compliance. However, it must be balanced with respect and loyalty. A ruler who governs solely through fear risks breeding resentment and rebellion. The key is to inspire a healthy respect that borders on fear, ensuring that subjects and allies alike understand the consequences of betrayal, while also recognizing the benefits of loyalty. In this vein, the ruler must be a master of the dual nature of power, combining the force of the lion with the cunning of the fox. The lion instills awe and commands obedience, while the fox navigates the labyrinth of intrigue with agility and cunning. This duality allows a ruler to strike the balance between authority and strategy, ensuring that power is both respected and secure. Ultimately, the successful ruler understands that the traditional moral codes of society do not always align with the necessities of governance. In the pursuit of power and the maintenance of order, actions must be guided by pragmatism rather than idealism. The ruler must be willing to make difficult decisions, sacrificing conventional morality on the altar of stability and control. This does not imply a wholesale abandonment of ethics, but rather a pragmatic approach to morality, where the greater good of the state takes precedence over individual moral qualms. In conclusion, navigating a world rife with falsehood and treachery requires a keen understanding of human nature, a strategic approach to alliances, and a willingness to wield power with both strength and cunning. By mastering these principles, a ruler can not only survive the vicissitudes of power, but thrive amidst them, securing their reign and shaping the destiny of their state. In the end, it is through the artful manipulation of power, fear, loyalty, and betrayal that a ruler can truly hold the reins of fate and steer their realm towards enduring success. As we delve deeper into the intricate dance of power, it becomes evident that the mastery of perception is a crucial skill for any ruler seeking to navigate a world teeming with duplicity. The ability to shape and control how one is perceived by allies and adversaries alike can often mean the difference between stability and chaos. In the theater of politics, perception is as potent a tool as the sword, for it can alter the course of events without the need for direct confrontation. The wise ruler understands that the image projected outwardly must be crafted with the same care as a sculptor chiseling a masterpiece from marble. This image serves as both a shield and a sword, deterring potential threats while attracting loyalty and support. The ruler must embody the virtues that inspire confidence, strength, wisdom, and benevolence, while ensuring that any signs of weakness are concealed behind a veil of impenetrable fortitude. This is not a call to abandon authenticity, but rather to recognize that the projection of strength often necessitates a certain degree of artifice. In cultivating this image, the ruler must also be adept in the art of communication. Words are powerful instruments that can sway opinions and cement allegiances. The ruler's tongue must be as silver as it is sharp, capable of soothing fears and inciting fervor. Eloquence and rhetoric become tools of persuasion, allowing the ruler to command the loyalty of the masses and the respect of the nobility. However, it is not enough to merely speak well. The ruler must also listen astutely. For in the whispers of the court and the murmurs of the populace lie the truths that can forestall disaster. Moreover, the ruler must recognize the importance of timing in the exercise of power. Decisive action, when executed at the opportune moment, can alter the trajectory of fortune. The ability to discern when to strike and when to hold back is a hallmark of effective leadership. This requires a keen understanding of the political landscape, an awareness of the undercurrents that may not be immediately visible. The ruler must be like a seasoned sailor, attuned to the shifting winds and tides, ready to adjust course with precision and foresight. Yet, even as the ruler navigates these complexities, there remains the ever-present specter of betrayal. In an environment where ambition often overrides loyalty, the ruler must be prepared to act with decisiveness and resolve when treachery is uncovered. The swift and unyielding response to betrayal serves as both a deterrent to others and a reaffirmation of the ruler's authority. It is a harsh reality that mercy is sometimes a luxury that cannot be afforded, for leniency in the face of betrayal can embolden others to follow the treacherous path. The ruler must also be cognizant of the dynamics of power within their own inner circle. The court is a place where ambitions intersect and loyalties are tested. Those who surround the ruler are not mere subordinates, but individuals with their own desires and aspirations. The ruler must skillfully manage these dynamics, ensuring that any one individual's power does not grow to the point where it threatens the stability of the regime. This requires a delicate balancing act, rewarding loyalty while curbing ambition that may lead to dissent. In this relentless pursuit of power, the ruler must also be wary of external threats. The geopolitical landscape is a chessboard where alliances are forged and broken with the shifting winds of fortune. A ruler must be adept at the game of diplomacy, forming strategic alliances that bolster their position while remaining vigilant against those who would exploit any perceived weakness. The ruler must engage in a careful calculus, weighing the benefits of cooperation against the risks of betrayal, ever mindful that today's ally may become tomorrow's adversary. Ultimately, the successful navigation of leadership in a world fraught with deception and betrayal hinges upon the ruler's ability to balance strength with cunning, perception with reality, and loyalty with vigilance. This is not a task for the faint-hearted, for it requires a willingness to confront harsh truths and make difficult decisions. Yet, for those who master these skills, the rewards are great: a legacy of stability and prosperity, a realm where order prevails, and a name etched in the annals of history as a ruler who not only survived but thrived in the face of adversity. In the final analysis, the path of rulership is one defined not by the ideals one holds, but by the actions one takes. It is a path where pragmatism must often override principle, where the pursuit of power demands sacrifices that are both personal and ethical. Yet, it is also a path that offers the opportunity to shape the destiny of a nation, to wield the levers of influence in ways that can bring about enduring change. For the ruler who embraces these challenges with foresight and determination, the future holds the promise of greatness and the chance to seize the very reins of fate itself. As we continue to explore the labyrinthine corridors of power, we must acknowledge that the foundations upon which authority rests are often as fragile as they are formidable. The edifice of power, though imposing, can be brought to ruin by neglecting the undercurrents that sustain it. A ruler must, therefore, be ever mindful of the forces that both support and threaten their reign. One of the most critical elements in maintaining power is the cultivation of legitimacy. While force and fear can compel obedience, they are not substitutes for the deeper, more enduring bond of legitimacy. A ruler must be seen as rightful and just, not only by virtue of birth or conquest, but through the continuous demonstration of capability and fairness. This requires a careful balance between authority and accountability, ensuring that the ruler's actions are perceived as serving the greater good rather than personal aggrandizement. To achieve this, the ruler must actively engage with the populace, not merely as subjects to be ruled, but as stakeholders in the stability and prosperity of the realm. Public opinion, though fickle, is a powerful force that can amplify or undermine a ruler's position. By fostering a sense of shared purpose and destiny, the ruler can transform subjects into allies, creating a buffer against the machinations of internal and external adversaries. This involves not only addressing the immediate needs and concerns of the populace, but also articulating a vision for the future that inspires loyalty and hope. In this context, it is essential for the ruler to manage the distribution of resources and rewards with an eye toward equity and strategic advantage. The judicious allocation of wealth and privileges can engender loyalty among key factions, ensuring their vested interest in the ruler's continued success. However, this must be done with caution, as favoritism or perceived injustice can sow the seeds of discontent and rebellion. A wise ruler will ensure that the benefits of their rule are felt broadly, minimizing the potential for envy and resentment to take root. Simultaneously, The ruler must be vigilant in safeguarding against the corrosive effects of corruption and inefficiency. These twin evils can undermine the very foundations of governance, eroding trust and weakening the state's ability to function effectively. The ruler must instill a culture of integrity and accountability within the administration, ensuring that those entrusted with positions of power adhere to the highest standards of conduct. This requires not only setting an example through personal behavior, but also implementing systems of oversight and discipline that deter malfeasance and promote excellence. Yet, even as the ruler fortifies their position internally, they must remain acutely aware of the external threats that loom on the horizon. The geopolitical landscape is one of perpetual flux, where alliances shift and rivalries simmer beneath the surface. A ruler must be adept at reading the signals of international relations, anticipating potential conflicts and opportunities with a strategic mind. This involves not only maintaining a robust military presence as a deterrent, but also engaging in diplomacy that reflects both strength and flexibility. In the realm of diplomacy, the ruler must cultivate relationships that extend beyond mere transactional exchanges. True alliances are built on mutual respect and shared interests, requiring a deep understanding of the motivations and goals of other states. The ruler must be willing to engage in dialogue, forging agreements that enhance security and prosperity while navigating the delicate balance of power. By positioning themselves as a reliable and influential player on the world stage, the ruler can enhance their legitimacy and secure their realm against external threats. As we reflect on these imperatives, it becomes clear that the art of rulership is one of perpetual adaptation and vigilance. A ruler must be both a visionary and a pragmatist, capable of navigating the complexities of human behavior and geopolitical dynamics with insight and agility. It is a role that demands resilience and courage, a willingness to confront the challenges of the present while preparing for the uncertainties of the future. In conclusion, the path to enduring power is not one of rigid adherence to ideology or tradition, but of pragmatic adaptation to the ever-changing realities of the world. It requires a profound understanding of the forces that shape human behavior, a strategic approach to alliance building, and a commitment to the principles of legitimacy and fairness. By embracing these tenets, a ruler can secure their place in history, not merely as a transient holder of power, but as a transformative leader who shapes the destiny of their realm for generations to come. In the relentless pursuit of power, the prudent ruler must also consider the delicate balance between tradition and innovation. The weight of history can be both a burden and a boon, offering a reservoir of legitimacy while imposing constraints on the ruler's ability to adapt to changing circumstances. The challenge lies in honoring the past while simultaneously forging a path forward that addresses the exigencies of the present. To navigate this duality, the ruler must cultivate a deep understanding of the cultural and historical context within which they operate. This involves not merely paying lip service to tradition, but actively engaging with it, discerning which elements continue to serve the interests of the state and which have become obsolete. Tradition, when wielded skillfully, can serve as a stabilizing force, providing continuity and a sense of identity to the populace. However, when adhered to dogmatically, it can stifle innovation and hinder progress. The astute ruler recognizes that the most effective governance often involves a synthesis of old and new, blending time-honored practices with innovative approaches that address contemporary challenges. This requires a willingness to question established norms and embrace new ideas, drawing on the insights of advisors and experts who bring fresh perspectives to the table. By fostering a culture of innovation within the administration, the ruler can ensure that the state remains agile and responsive to the demands of a rapidly evolving world. In this regard, the role of education and knowledge becomes paramount. A ruler must not only value learning for themselves, but also promote it within their realm. An educated populace is an empowered one, capable of contributing to the state's prosperity and resilience. By investing in education and encouraging the dissemination of knowledge, the ruler can cultivate a society that is both dynamic and adaptable, ready to meet the challenges of the future with confidence and competence. Yet, the ruler must also be wary of the potential for knowledge to disrupt the established order. Ideas are powerful catalysts for change, and the dissemination of new concepts can lead to social upheaval if not managed carefully. The ruler must strike a balance, encouraging intellectual growth while maintaining a firm grip on the mechanisms of control. This involves not only supporting institutions of learning, but also monitoring the flow of information, ensuring that it serves the interests of stability and unity, rather than division and discord. As the ruler navigates these complexities, the importance of personal character cannot be understated. While political acumen and strategic insight are indispensable, they must be complemented by the ruler's ability to inspire trust and command respect. The ruler's conduct must reflect the values they seek to instill in their realm, serving as a model of integrity and dedication to the common good. By embodying the virtues of leadership, the ruler can foster a culture of excellence and accountability that permeates all levels of governance. In this endeavor, the ruler must also cultivate resilience, both personally and within the state. The path of leadership is fraught with challenges and setbacks, and the ability to persevere in the face of adversity is a hallmark of enduring power. This resilience is built not through isolation, but through the strength of the ruler's relationships, both with their inner circle and with the broader populace. By fostering a sense of solidarity and shared purpose, the ruler can weather crises with the support of a unified and committed citizenry. Ultimately, the quest for power is not an end in itself, but a means to achieve a greater purpose. The ruler's legacy is defined not by the duration of their reign, but by the impact they have on the lives of their subjects and the trajectory of their state. By approaching governance with a clear vision and a steadfast commitment to the welfare of the people, the ruler can transcend the ephemeral nature of power, leaving an indelible mark on history. In the grand tapestry of human affairs, the ruler stands as both a creator and a custodian, shaping the course of events while preserving the values and institutions that underpin civilization. It is a role that demands both humility and audacity, a willingness to embrace the responsibilities of leadership while daring to imagine a better future. For those who rise to this challenge, the rewards are not only measured in terms of power and prestige, but in the enduring legacy of a prosperous and harmonious realm. As we delve further into the complexities of leadership, it becomes imperative to address the intricate dynamics of power within the ruler's immediate sphere of influence. The court, that microcosm of ambition and intrigue, is both the heart of authority and a potential crucible of dissent. Here, among the corridors of influence and shadows of ambition, the ruler must navigate with both precision and prudence. The court is a place where the ambitions of many intersect, and where loyalty is often contingent upon personal gain. It is a theater where perceptions are as valuable as reality, and where the ruler's ability to manage relationships can dictate the stability of their reign. The ruler must, therefore, be a master of court politics, understanding the motivations of those who serve them and anticipating the moves of those who might seek to undermine them. This requires the ruler to engage in a delicate balancing act, rewarding loyalty and competence while curbing the excesses of ambition that could lead to factionalism or betrayal. The identification and cultivation of talent is crucial. The ruler must surround themselves with individuals who possess both the skill and the integrity to serve the interests of the state. These individuals must be made to feel valued and indispensable, yet also aware that their position is contingent upon their continued loyalty and performance. Moreover, the ruler must maintain a certain degree of distance, ensuring that personal relationships do not cloud judgment or compromise authority. Familiarity, while fostering camaraderie, can also breed contempt or complacency. Thus, the ruler must strike a careful balance between accessibility and aloofness, cultivating an image that commands respect while remaining approachable enough to maintain the loyalty of their subordinates. In managing the court, the ruler must also be adept at the art of information gathering. Knowledge is power, and the ability to discern the true intentions of those around them is an invaluable asset. This involves not only listening to the words spoken in open council, but also paying heed to the whispers of rumor and the subtleties of body language. By cultivating a network of informants and confidants, the ruler can ensure that they remain apprised of the undercurrents that flow beneath the surface of courtly life. Yet, even as the ruler seeks to fortify their position within the court, they must also extend their influence beyond its confines. The ruler's authority is not solely derived from their presence in the halls of power, but from their ability to project that power across the breadth of their realm. This involves the strategic exercise of military and economic strength to deter external threats and maintain internal order. The military, as the instrument of state power, must be maintained in a state of readiness, capable of responding to both external aggression and internal unrest. The ruler must ensure that the armed forces are loyal, well-equipped, and motivated, recognizing that their effectiveness is a reflection of the ruler's commitment to the defense of the realm. This requires not only investment in resources and training, but also the cultivation of a culture of discipline and honor within the ranks. Economically, the ruler must oversee a system that promotes growth and stability, recognizing that the prosperity of the state is intrinsically linked to the ruler's legitimacy. This involves fostering an environment conducive to trade and innovation, ensuring that the benefits of economic progress are felt across all strata of society. By addressing the economic needs of the populace, the ruler can mitigate the potential for discontent that arises from inequality or hardship. In the final analysis, the ruler's ability to maintain power is contingent upon their capacity to integrate these diverse elements into a cohesive strategy. It is a strategy that must be adaptable, allowing the ruler to respond to the shifting tides of fortune with agility and foresight. The ruler must be both a tactician and a visionary, capable of navigating the immediate challenges of governance while steering the realm toward a future of stability and prosperity. In embracing this role, the ruler takes on the mantle of responsibility, charged with the stewardship of a legacy that transcends their individual reign. It is a legacy built upon the principles of justice, security, and progress, a testament to the ruler's ability to wield power with wisdom and integrity. For the ruler who masters these challenges, the rewards are manifold: a secure and flourishing state, the loyalty and respect of their subjects, and a place in history as a leader who not only held power, but wielded it for the greater good. In the ever-evolving landscape of power, the ruler must remain cognizant of the subtle interplay between authority and influence. While authority is vested in the ruler by virtue of their position, influence is cultivated through relationships and the capacity to shape the thoughts and actions of others. This distinction is crucial, as influence often extends beyond the formal structures of power and can reach into areas where authority may falter. To harness influence effectively, the ruler must engage with the broader tapestry of society, recognizing that power is not confined to the court or government, but is distributed across various social and economic spheres. This requires a strategic approach to coalition building, identifying and aligning with key stakeholders whose support can amplify the ruler's initiatives and consolidate their position. These stakeholders may include influential merchants, religious leaders, intellectuals, and other figures who command respect and loyalty within their communities. The ruler's ability to engage with these disparate groups hinges on their capacity to communicate a compelling vision that resonates with diverse interests. This involves articulating policies and goals that reflect a nuanced understanding of the challenges and opportunities facing the state, while also appealing to the values and aspirations of the populace. By presenting a coherent narrative that encompasses both pragmatism and idealism, the ruler can galvanize support and foster a sense of shared purpose. In this endeavor, the ruler must also be mindful of the power of symbols and rituals in shaping perception and reinforcing legitimacy. Ceremonies, public appearances, and other symbolic acts serve as powerful instruments for cultivating a sense of continuity and unity. They connect the ruler to the historical and cultural identity of the state, reinforcing the idea that the ruler is both a guardian of tradition and a harbinger of progress. By carefully managing these symbols, the ruler can enhance their stature and instill confidence among their subjects. However, the ruler must also be prepared to adapt to the shifting dynamics of influence, recognizing that alliances are fluid and that the support of key stakeholders may be contingent upon changing circumstances. This requires a proactive approach to relationship management, maintaining open lines of communication and being attuned to the evolving needs and priorities of allies. By demonstrating flexibility and responsiveness, the ruler can sustain the goodwill and cooperation essential for enduring influence. Moreover, the ruler must be vigilant in countering the influence of adversaries who may seek to undermine their authority. This involves not only addressing overt threats but also neutralizing more insidious forms of opposition that manifest through misinformation, propaganda, or subversion. The ruler must cultivate a robust intelligence apparatus capable of identifying and countering these threats, ensuring that the integrity of their rule is not compromised by external or internal machinations. As the ruler engages in this intricate dance of power, they must also grapple with the ethical dimensions of leadership. The pursuit of power often necessitates difficult choices, where the demands of statecraft may conflict with personal or moral considerations. The ruler must navigate these dilemmas with a clear-eyed understanding of the broader implications of their actions, recognizing that the ethical landscape of governance is seldom black and white. In this regard, the ruler must cultivate a personal philosophy that guides their decision-making, balancing the imperatives of pragmatism with a commitment to principles that uphold the dignity and welfare of their subjects. This philosophy should reflect an understanding that while the exercise of power may require moral compromises, it should ultimately serve the greater good and contribute to the creation of a just and equitable society. In conclusion, the ruler's journey through the labyrinth of power is one of constant adaptation and introspection. It is a journey that demands both strategic acumen and moral fortitude, a willingness to wield influence with both strength and subtlety. By mastering the art of leadership, the ruler can transcend the ephemeral nature of power, leaving a legacy that endures beyond their tenure. This is the ultimate aspiration for any ruler to shape the course of history, not merely through the exertion of authority, but through the cultivation of a lasting influence that elevates both their realm and their people. As we delve further into the intricacies of leadership and power, it becomes essential to explore the relationship between the ruler and the governed, a relationship that forms the bedrock of any enduring state. The ruler must possess a keen understanding of the social contract, that unwritten agreement between the sovereign and the citizenry, which dictates that the ruler's legitimacy is contingent upon their ability to provide security, justice, and prosperity. A ruler's success is often measured by their capacity to maintain this delicate balance, ensuring that the needs and aspirations of the populace are met while simultaneously upholding the authority and stability of the state. The challenge lies in navigating the diverse and sometimes conflicting interests within the realm. recognizing that the populace is not a monolith but a tapestry of varied backgrounds, beliefs, and desires. To effectively govern, the ruler must engage in a continuous dialogue with the people, fostering a relationship built on mutual respect and trust. This involves not only listening to the grievances and concerns of the populace, but also demonstrating a genuine commitment to addressing them. The ruler must be seen as a steward of the public good, someone whose actions are guided by a sense of duty and responsibility rather than personal ambition. In this context, transparency and accountability become essential components of governance. While the ruler must maintain a degree of strategic discretion in matters of state, they must also ensure that their actions are transparent enough to engender trust and confidence among the populace. This involves creating avenues for feedback and participation, allowing citizens to have a voice in the decisions that affect their lives. By fostering an environment of openness and inclusivity, the ruler can mitigate the potential for discontent and unrest. Moreover, the ruler must be adept at managing change, recognizing that the world is in a state of constant flux and that the ability to adapt is crucial for survival. This requires a forward-thinking approach to governance, one that anticipates potential challenges and seizes opportunities for innovation and growth. The ruler must be willing to embrace new technologies and ideas that can enhance the state's capacity to meet the needs of its citizens, while also being mindful of the potential disruptions that such changes can bring. In navigating these complexities, the ruler must also be attuned to the broader geopolitical context, understanding that the state does not exist in isolation, but as part of a global community. This involves not only safeguarding national interests, but also engaging in diplomacy that reflects a commitment to international cooperation and stability. The ruler must be a statesman, capable of balancing the demands of national sovereignty with the realities of an interconnected world. As we consider the challenges and responsibilities that come with leadership, it is important to reflect on the qualities that define a truly great ruler. Beyond strategic acumen and political savvy, the ruler must embody a sense of vision and purpose that inspires others to rise above their individual concerns and work towards a common goal. This vision must be grounded in a deep understanding of human nature, recognizing both the potential for greatness and the capacity for folly that exists within each individual. In this pursuit, the ruler must also cultivate the virtue of humility, acknowledging that power is not an entitlement but a privilege that comes with great responsibility. The ruler must be willing to learn from their mistakes, to seek counsel from those who possess wisdom and experience, and to remain open to new perspectives and ideas. By embracing a mindset of continuous growth and improvement, the ruler can ensure that their leadership remains relevant and effective in a changing world. Ultimately, the measure of a ruler's success lies not in the accumulation of power or wealth, but in the legacy they leave behind. A truly great ruler is one who transcends the limitations of their time, shaping the future in ways that promote peace, prosperity, and justice for all. This is the legacy that endures, a testament to the ruler's ability to wield power not for personal gain, but for the greater good of their people and their realm. In conclusion, the path of leadership is fraught with challenges and complexities, requiring a delicate balance of strength, wisdom, and compassion. It is a path that demands both strategic insight and moral courage, a willingness to confront the harsh realities of power while remaining true to the principles of justice and fairness. For those who rise to this challenge, the rewards are manifold: a secure and flourishing state, the loyalty and respect of their subjects, and a place in history as a leader who not only held power, but wielded it with integrity and purpose. As we delve deeper into the nuances of governance, it becomes clear that the ruler's task is not merely to wield power, but to cultivate it in a manner that enhances the vitality and longevity of the state. Power, in its most effective form, is not static but dynamic, requiring constant nourishment and adaptation. The ruler must therefore engage in the art of statecraft with both foresight and flexibility, recognizing that the seeds of future prosperity are sown in the present. Central to this endeavor is the ruler's ability to inspire a sense of collective identity among the populace. In a diverse and multifaceted society, fostering a shared sense of purpose is paramount to maintaining unity and cohesion. This requires the ruler to articulate a vision that transcends individual differences, uniting the citizenry under a banner of common values and goals. Such a vision must resonate deeply, drawing on the cultural, historical, and ethical threads that bind the society together. To achieve this, the ruler must be both a storyteller and a strategist, weaving narratives that highlight the strengths and aspirations of the nation, while also addressing its challenges with honesty and resolve. These narratives serve as a compass, guiding the populace through times of both prosperity and adversity, reinforcing the bonds of solidarity that are essential for collective action. In tandem with this, the ruler must foster an environment that encourages civic engagement and participation. A populace that feels invested in the success of the state is more likely to contribute positively to its development and stability. The ruler must therefore create mechanisms that empower citizens to play an active role in governance, whether through public forums, advisory councils, or other participatory structures. By giving citizens a stake in the decision-making process, the ruler can harness the diverse talents and perspectives within the society, transforming potential sources of dissent into engines of innovation and progress. However, the ruler must also recognize that not all challenges can be addressed through inclusion and consensus. There are times when decisive action is required, when the complexities of governance demand a clear and authoritative response. In such instances, the ruler must be prepared to act with resolve, making difficult choices that serve the broader interests of the state. This requires a delicate balance between consultation and command, ensuring that while the voices of the many are heard, the ultimate responsibility for decision-making rests with the ruler. In the international arena, the ruler must be equally astute, navigating the intricate web of alliances and rivalries that define global politics. The state must position itself as a formidable player on the world stage, capable of influencing outcomes and shaping events to its advantage. This involves not only maintaining a robust defense posture, but also engaging in diplomacy that reflects both strategic acumen and ethical consideration. The ruler must cultivate relationships with other states based on mutual respect and shared interests, recognizing that the strength of the state is enhanced through cooperation and collaboration. This requires an understanding of the geopolitical landscape, the ability to anticipate shifts in power dynamics, and the foresight to forge alliances that bolster the state's position. At the same time, the ruler must remain vigilant against those who would seek to undermine or exploit the state, ensuring that its sovereignty and security are never compromised. As the ruler navigates these multifaceted challenges, they must also focus on the long-term sustainability of their policies and initiatives. Short-term gains must be weighed against potential long-term consequences, with an eye towards ensuring that the state's resources and institutions are preserved for future generations. This involves a commitment to prudent management, innovation, and the responsible stewardship of both natural and human capital. In conclusion, the art of rulership is a continuous process of learning, adaptation, and renewal. It demands a profound understanding of the human condition, a strategic mind that can see beyond the immediate horizon, and a moral compass that guides actions toward the greater good. For the ruler who embraces these principles, the rewards are not merely transient accolades, but an enduring legacy of peace, prosperity, and progress, a testament to their vision and leadership. This is the true measure of greatness, a legacy that not only endures but inspires future generations to continue the journey toward a more just and equitable world. In continuing our exploration of the art of governance, it becomes essential to address the delicate interplay between power and ethics. The exercise of power invariably poses profound moral questions, demanding that the ruler navigate the often murky waters where practical necessity and ethical considerations intersect. This balance is crucial, for the legitimacy of a ruler's authority rests not only on their ability to command, but also on their adherence to principles that resonate with the moral expectations of their subjects. Ethical leadership requires a nuanced understanding of justice, not as an abstract ideal, but as a pragmatic principle that guides the ruler's actions in the pursuit of the common good. Justice, in this sense, is about fairness and equity, about creating conditions where individuals can thrive within a framework that respects their rights and dignity. The ruler must strive to ensure that laws are applied impartially and that the mechanisms of justice are accessible to all, fostering a sense of trust and confidence in the institutions of governance. However, the ruler must also recognize that ethical dilemmas will arise, situations where the demands of justice conflict with the imperatives of statecraft. In such instances, the ruler must weigh the potential outcomes of their decisions, considering not only the immediate impact, but also the long-term effects on the fabric of society. This requires a willingness to engage in moral reflection, to seek counsel from wise and trusted advisors, and to remain open to the possibility of compromise when it serves the greater good. The ruler's ethical considerations must also extend to the realm of economic policy, where decisions about resource allocation and wealth distribution have profound implications for social stability and cohesion. The ruler must navigate the complex dynamics of economic governance, ensuring that policies promote sustainable growth while addressing the needs of the most vulnerable members of society. This involves striking a balance between fostering innovation and entrepreneurship and safeguarding against the excesses of inequality and exploitation. In this context, the ruler must also be attuned to the environmental dimensions of governance, recognizing that the stewardship of natural resources is both a moral and practical obligation. The health of the environment is intrinsically linked to the well-being of the populace, and the ruler must ensure that the state's development does not come at the expense of ecological sustainability. This requires a commitment to policies that promote conservation, energy efficiency, and the responsible management of the state's natural assets. As the ruler grapples with these ethical and practical challenges, they must also cultivate a culture of integrity within the state's institutions. Corruption and malfeasance are corrosive forces that undermine the legitimacy of governance and erode public trust. The ruler must lead by example, demonstrating a personal commitment to ethical conduct and instilling a sense of accountability and transparency within the administration. This involves implementing robust systems of oversight and enforcement, ensuring that those who abuse their positions of power are held to account. In fostering this culture of integrity, the ruler must also recognize the importance of education and civic engagement in promoting ethical values. An informed and active citizenry is the bedrock of a healthy democracy, capable of holding leaders accountable and participating in the collective decision-making process. By investing in education and encouraging critical thinking, the ruler can empower citizens to become active stewards of their own destinies, contributing to a vibrant and resilient society. Ultimately, the ruler's legacy is defined not only by their achievements, but by the ethical standards they uphold. A ruler who governs with integrity, fairness, and compassion leaves a lasting impact, creating a foundation upon which future generations can build. This is the essence of true leadership, the ability to wield power with wisdom and grace, to inspire others through example, and to leave the world a better place than one found it. In conclusion, the path of ethical leadership is both challenging and rewarding, requiring a steadfast commitment to principles that transcend the exigencies of the moment. For the ruler who embraces this path, the rewards are manifold: a just and prosperous society, the respect and admiration of the populace, and a legacy that endures through the annals of history. This is the ultimate aspiration for any ruler, to be remembered not only as a holder of power, but as a beacon of moral clarity and a catalyst for positive change. As we advance in our examination of governance, it is vital to consider the role of adaptability in the ruler's repertoire. The world is in constant flux, shaped by technological advancements, shifting demographics, and evolving social norms. A ruler must possess the foresight to anticipate these changes and the flexibility to respond effectively, ensuring that the state remains resilient in the face of uncertainty and transformation. Adaptability begins with a mindset that embraces change as an opportunity rather than a threat. The ruler must cultivate an environment that encourages innovation and experimentation, recognizing that new ideas and approaches are essential for progress. This involves fostering a culture of learning within the administration, promoting continuous improvement and the exploration of novel solutions to complex problems. By encouraging creativity and risk-taking, the ruler can position the state at the forefront of technological and social advancements. In this context, the ruler must also be vigilant in identifying and addressing emerging challenges before they escalate into crises. This requires a proactive approach to governance, leveraging data and analytics to gain insights into trends and potential disruptions. By employing strategic foresight, the ruler can develop contingency plans and prioritize resources to mitigate risks and capitalize on opportunities. This foresight enables the ruler to navigate the complexities of governance with agility and precision, ensuring that the state is prepared to meet the demands of an ever-changing world. Moreover, the ruler's adaptability must extend to the realm of international relations, where geopolitical landscapes are continually shifting. The ruler must be adept at reading global signals, forging alliances, and recalibrating strategies in response to new developments. Diplomacy becomes a key tool in this endeavor, allowing the ruler to build bridges and foster cooperation with other states. By cultivating a network of partnerships based on mutual interests and respect, the ruler can enhance the state's influence and secure its position on the world stage. In fostering adaptability, the ruler must also be attentive to the social fabric of the state, recognizing that societal resilience is rooted in the strength of its communities. This involves promoting social cohesion and inclusivity, ensuring that all citizens feel valued and empowered to contribute to the state's prosperity. By addressing social disparities and fostering a sense of belonging, the ruler can mitigate tensions and foster a climate of unity and solidarity. This social resilience is essential for navigating periods of transition and upheaval, providing a foundation of stability upon which the state can build. Furthermore, the ruler must recognize the role of education in cultivating adaptability, both at an individual and societal level. An educated populace is better equipped to navigate change, possessing the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in a dynamic world. The ruler must invest in education systems that prioritize critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving, empowering citizens to become active participants in shaping their futures. By nurturing a culture of lifelong learning, the ruler can ensure that the state remains vibrant and adaptable, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities of the future. As we reflect on the importance of adaptability, It becomes clear that the ruler's ability to lead effectively in a changing world hinges on their willingness to evolve alongside it. This requires a commitment to lifelong learning, an openness to new perspectives, and a readiness to question assumptions and embrace new paradigms. The ruler must be both a student and a teacher, continuously expanding their understanding while imparting wisdom and guidance to others. In conclusion, adaptability is not merely a skill, but a fundamental attribute of effective leadership. It is the ability to navigate the complexities of a changing world with confidence and foresight, to transform challenges into opportunities, and to inspire others to embrace the journey of growth and transformation. For the ruler who masters this art, the rewards are profound: a dynamic and resilient state, a populace empowered to thrive, and a legacy of innovation and progress that endures through time. This is the true essence of leadership in the modern age, a testament to the ruler's vision and their commitment to a future of possibility and promise. As we delve further into the intricacies of governance, we find ourselves confronted with the enduring question of how to balance the demands of authority with the imperatives of liberty. This equilibrium is central to the ruler's ability to foster a stable and prosperous society, where the power of the state is wielded judiciously to protect its citizens while respecting their autonomy and rights. The essence of this balance lies in the ruler's understanding that authority must be exercised with restraint and wisdom, ensuring that its application serves the broader interests of justice and the common good. The ruler must recognize that the legitimacy of their power is contingent upon the consent of the governed, and that this consent is rooted in the people's belief that their freedoms and rights are safeguarded. To achieve this balance, the ruler must create a legal framework that both empowers the state and protects the individual. Laws must be crafted with precision and clarity, embodying principles of fairness and equity that resonate with the populace. The rule of law serves as both a shield and a compass, guiding the actions of the state while providing citizens with a sense of security and predictability in their daily lives. In this context, the ruler must also ensure that the mechanisms of justice are impartial and accessible, allowing grievances to be addressed through fair and transparent processes. An independent judiciary, free from political interference, is essential to maintaining this trust, serving as a bulwark against the abuse of power and ensuring that the rights of individuals are upheld. Yet, even as the ruler strives to uphold liberty, they must also be vigilant in addressing the challenges that arise from the exercise of excessive freedom. The ruler must recognize that liberty, when untempered by responsibility, can lead to disorder and division. It is the ruler's task to cultivate a sense of civic duty among citizens, encouraging them to exercise their freedoms in ways that contribute to the welfare of the community and the stability of the state. This involves fostering a culture of civic engagement, where individuals are encouraged to participate actively in the governance of their society. The ruler must create avenues for dialogue and collaboration, allowing citizens to voice their opinions and contribute to the decision-making process. By empowering citizens to take an active role in shaping their future, the ruler can harness the collective talents and energies of the populace, transforming potential sources of dissent into forces for positive change. At the same time, the ruler must be prepared to address the threats posed by those who would exploit freedom for malicious ends. The ruler must ensure that the state possesses the tools necessary to combat extremism, criminality, and other forms of disruption, while remaining vigilant against the encroachment of authoritarianism. This requires a delicate balance, where the state's security apparatus is robust enough to protect its citizens, yet constrained by checks and balances that prevent the erosion of civil liberties. As the ruler navigates these complex dynamics, They must also be attentive to the societal factors that influence the balance between authority and liberty. The ruler must recognize that economic inequality, social injustice, and lack of opportunity can exacerbate tensions and undermine the social contract. By addressing these underlying issues, the ruler can create conditions that foster harmony and cooperation, reducing the potential for conflict and unrest. In conclusion, the ruler's ability to balance authority and liberty is a testament to their understanding of the human condition and the complexities of governance. It requires a commitment to principles of justice and fairness, a willingness to engage with citizens in meaningful ways, and a readiness to adapt to the evolving needs of society. For the ruler who masters this balance, the rewards are profound: a society that is both free and secure, a populace that is empowered and engaged, and a legacy of stability and prosperity that endures through the ages. This is the essence of enlightened leadership, a vision of governance that transcends the mere exercise of power to embrace the higher calling of service to humanity.